Hello, Vudani here, and today I finally have a Mesmer PvP video, a full game here, and I didn't have one yet, mostly just because I never really got to the class with a build that I really liked, but this is a build that I really like, and right there you see open on that ranger with about half his health gone, and that is what this build is. One of my favorite things to do, obviously bursting people down, and here is the deadly combo right there. You see the massive mind racks as well as the immobilized from the number 3 ability of the sword and pistol, and it's a deadly combination. And another good part about this build is the innate ability of a Mesmer to survive is just incredible. I mean, so many illusions with builds like this, it is just quite a chore to actually find the correct Mesmer and take them out. And that is basically what I abuse here. I am more or less glass cannony. I got a bit of survival. For the stun break, I'm using the clone that turns me invisible. But the key for this build is using and managing your shatter skills. The skills that will be most important, first of all, your F1 mind rack is very good, very powerful. The damage with this build for mind rack is just incredible. Your shatters are going to come out of yourself as well as your illusions, so take advantage of that. And right now I'm in a 2v1 here. It's kinda in a bad spot. I throw down my ultimate there to try to take out this ranger, and there you see some pretty nasty damage with that ultimate. But I don't think yep, here comes some more people. I was right up in their spawn at that point, but you did see I lasted a pretty good while against those people. Well, I guess just the ranger with a very low amount of health, and that was because I began to play defensively. Playing defensively on a Mesmer is just a wonder. If you are really trying to evade people, I mean, it's very doable. With this build, it's a great sword and sword/pistol if you haven't figured that out. And both weapons actually have a fair amount of survivability. The great sword, obviously very long range, and here I come in on this group. You generally going to want to start off with your number 4, get that Phantasm up, and if you'd like, mind rack them. But right there I did the F3 for the daze to try and assist my teammate here. And this guy's pretty much dead. I summoned my boon strip clone to try and just do whatever. The clone stripping boon is actually, I don't know, it's a long cast, but it does work sometimes. It's obviously another clone on a very short cooldown. You're gonna basically use those for shatters. That's how most of the utility skills with this build work. Each of them summons a clone or a phantasm, and I mean, there are survivability aspects to them, but they're more like offensive tools for shatters. And here we go right in on this thief. I start off with the great sword, and my phantasm is not working, but I back up. I saw that Mesmer coming behind me, but I did see my team basically surrounding the area on the map, so I knew this battle was going to end well for us. So you see me, I'm just kind of hanging back and here goes the number 3 ability with the distortion on the sword. If you're in melee up close with this build, you're going to want to try to be distorted, because if you do get focus fired, you're going to die pretty quickly. And you see me just basically wrap up here, and I hear the mine just got taken, so I'm going to move over. This build is very strong 1v1, so it's a perfect opportunity right here to basically retake it. I didn't feel like there were many people. And you see I'm starting with the greatsword. That is fairly standard for pretty much all Mesmer builds, I would guess. If you have a greatsword, it's obviously the ranged option. And right there I started with the sword guy, Mr. Phantasm. Does some good damage. The thief came in right there and he got destroyed. And as you can see, my team is kinda filling the area. It's pretty much over. I'm gonna turn around and go elsewhere. Right now my team is in a very bad situation. The points are even, but as you can tell, we do not have anything controlled as of now. And here's a Mesmer. Good opportunity for a 1v1. I start off with the standard sword rotation there, but I do see some people coming in, so I fall back. And I'm trying to basically line of sight here to get into a trap for my greatsword right in there. There goes the Mind Rack. You saw a huge amount of AoE burst damage. That came from the illusionary greatsword Phantasm with a Mind Rack. Obviously all that damage is AoE. Right now I'm trying to get on that Mesmer, but I did see a lot of bolts coming my way, so dodge behind that rock, and here we see a Staff Elementalist. I get a decent amount of damage there. He seems pretty sturdy though. Started this battle at incredibly low health. I tried to knock him back with that greatsword, but he did end up blasting me with what looked like an arcane shield. Not 100% on that, but I'm falling back. He's actually really not taking much damage at all, and I'm trying to just hang on here. I pop my ultimate. Just, if I'm gonna die, I'm going to die gloriously. And there goes a bit of a distortion attack, but didn't manage to take him out. Not gonna survive this. That help of the thief right there really just put it over the top. There wasn't really any coming back from that. I did manage to get the Elementalist fairly low. I probably would have handled him in a 1v1. Obviously full health. I mean, there's not many classes that can take you down. Maybe a really good Guardian would take you down, or if you happen to catch a stun and just got absolutely destroyed by a warrior, but for the most part with this build you're going to do pretty good in 1v1s. And that obviously is a testament to the power of the Mesmer. With illusions it's just so difficult to pick out the correct Mesmer, and that is just it is multiplied when there's only one person you're going against. In a larger group battle, it's a little less noticeable because people are just cleaving everywhere and it's hard to really get in melee for good AoE, and there's a huge amount of people. I pop my invisibility clone right away to try and not get focus fired, but that Mesmer has got a Phantasm on me already. And this thief right here is going down, went down pretty easily. Not gonna be able to do much here. I'm popping clones, trying to dodge around and use my Mind Rack there to try to generate some damage, but I am in a bad situation. There goes my illusions for boons, but it was dazed. I popped my F4 distortion, mitigate 2 Heart Seekers, and knock those guys back into that corner. They're kind of grouped up there. Able to pop my illusory swordsman and do a good amount of damage and get a lot of range, but I do end up going down here. Here comes the thief to stomp me. Obviously gonna teleport away. And the down skills right here, here we go. Big crit. Didn't, well actually that wasn't a big crit. Okay. The number 3 ability of your down is incredibly powerful, and a lot of times it will straight up crit people for 5k. And if you teleport and play your cards correctly, you can pretty much kill people in a down state. Obviously, if you do get stomped right away, then you'll die. Good players will come up to a Mesmer and stomp them right away for fear of that stealth guy, the stealth Phantasm you can summon while downed. Right now I'm backing up. I'm still really low health. I never really recovered from that last battle. But this Mesmer is just being very persistent, so I end up going stealth to try to draw him off of me. Here goes the illusory swordsman, and the match ends, but let's continue on this Mesmer here. Knock him back a bit. He's pretty much running away, but here comes the teleport, immobilize, and the Mind Racks, and good amount of burst. But the main thing about this build is it is incredibly strong in 1v1s. It has a lot of great utility through shatters, and honestly, I believe this build, a build like this, has by far one of the highest skill caps in the game. So this is by no means a build for a beginner. I mean, it's still good for a beginner, but any shatter build is going to be fairly difficult to play, and you're going to really have to manage your targets well. But as always, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any suggestions for Mesmer videos, and leave it in the comments, I'll take it into consideration for my next video with the Mesmer. And thanks for watching.